It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
What up, guys? It's Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, as always. We got a big show. Getting ready for SummerSlam going down this weekend, emanating from Cleveland, Ohio, hosted by The Miz. But I told you guys we're going to have a very special guest stepping inside the Hall of Fame this week. He is Heartbreak Kid. He is Mr. WrestleMania. He is a WWE Hall of Famer. Shawn Michaels. What's going on, man?
Hello, Book. Thanks for having me. Clearly, I appreciate you. Let me dress casual today. I appreciate it.
Man, inside the Hall of Fame, man, it's all about getting our champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man.
I was going to say, I love up top. You got all the catchphrases in there.
Hey, man, you've been doing a hell of a job. You've been doing a hell of a job with NXT, and that's what I want to talk to you about, the state of NXT coming off of week 1 of the Great American Bash, and what a week 1 it was with a hell of a main event, Roxanne Perez versus Thea Hale. Before we even get started, talk to me about that match, man, and what a banger it was.
Yeah, well, look, you were there last night, right? When we came back, you knew it as it was going on. I mean, Matt and I were sitting there. We're in the back. And again, there are times that, and Book, you understand this. There are times that, again, the crowd, again, they appear that they're into it, and they are. Again, they're going through some of their, sort of their programmed chants, NXT, NXT, and again, but they're, it's so funny because at a certain point earlier in the day, I heard a producer talking to talent, and they're talking about something that's going to happen. And this is where we're hoping to get this is where we're going to get like this NXT. So they know that there's this place where they're going to get this chant. And it's like, okay, that's great, but that's not really connecting with them. There's a difference between getting, I don't know, the fans chanting something out of kind of being programmed to do it.
Yeah.
And really having them to where they're so emotionally involved and intact that they're reacting to every little thing. And as you know, Book, that's one of the things that we always want so badly to happen down here at NXT, because that's when that light bulb goes on.
Yeah.
There are moments every now and then during a match where you go like, oh my goodness, it's happening. It's going on. I hope they're feeling it. Last night, during Thea and Roxanne, that was happening. You felt it. I felt it. Those two were in there. And when they came back, they felt it and they knew it happened. So that's what last night was, such a big match for NXT as a brand. And again, for me, selfishly, more importantly, for Thea and Roxanne and their growth and their development. Last night, they both stepped into a realm that they've never been to before. And I feel like from this point on, they're both going to be different. So that's what it was. Again, from internally, from an NXT standpoint, as a coach, as a producer, as a guy here that's now wanting to do everything that I can to enable these young talent to be able to go to the main roster and have success. It's so important that they have those moments and they feel those moments, because until you can hear about the promised land, Book, as you know very well. You can hear about the promised land, but having never been there, it's hard to truly feel and know. You know what I mean? And last night, both Thea and Roxanne went there, and I'm so proud of them and what it is they accomplished last night. Because again, I think from this point on, their growth is now going to go to another level, which, as you know, can sometimes be the biggest difference maker in your career.
I always said that about you, Shawn. I always said you was the fish that got away, the fish called Wonder, the one that got away. But because you always work 6'4", you always projected 250 pounds. You always work so much bigger, and you made the fans feel everything that you did out in the middle of that ring. And I felt like that's what those ladies went out there and did last night. What's your concept, man, as far as the state of NXT? Is it like taking a step back to take a step forward? You know what I mean? Because the way we did it, it was always about the fans. It was about, trying to connect. What's your concepts?
Well, look, it's so much of that happens as you know, but we all of us old timers, we talk about it, right? We were so fortunate to have the reps and to be able to get in there with people that were better than us and had been around longer than us. This generation, and especially down at the Performance Center, is not always going to have that. Now, we take advantage of that everywhere that we can, but a lot of times we have to do our best to put them in situations and help them get as well rounded as they possibly can, because you can't rush time, you can't rush experience. We can't manufacture reps out of thin air if they're not there. So we have to find a number of different ways to try to encapsulate all of that experience and all of those repetitions in a very short time within our Performance Center atmosphere down here. So look, and that comes from so many different aspects. Obviously, trying to get them as many reps as we can, trying to get their eyes on as many different matches, techniques, styles, psychology in matches, our frame of mind, those of us that, might be watching matches with them versus what they're seeing.
Yeah.
And so look, and for me, I'll say this, it's difficult to do, but one of the things that, again, I learned from my homeschooling wife, believe it or not, and it's something you hear teachers say all the time, they would love to be able to have individualized, if you could sort of teach each student individually to their strengths and weaknesses, they would progress so much more. We do as best we can because we have so many people, but we really make it a point to get as much individualized coaching as we can to as many of our different talent that come through these doors. Now, obviously, we're not able to do that with everyone all the time. But as they come up and certain ones, step out in certain areas, we have so many different coaches at so many different levels that we've at least got someone that's able to connect with them to where they're at in their journey, if that makes sense. And then, and then obviously, we always, we've got sort of like our finishing guys, but then when they're ready to try to go to that next level, a lot of it is doing as best you can to, one, create that atmosphere for them, whether it be a storyline or a character standpoint, or their character going through a certain something or emotion or trial. And then when it's said and done, though, as well as I do, they've got to be out there in real time and feeling it. And last night, that was one, every one of us knew it and felt it. And like I said, that doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it is so special and so awesome. And like I said, that's what happened last night. It was one that snuck up and bit you in a way that you thought it was going to be good, right? You knew it was going to be good. They're accomplished. They're this, they're that. But it went out there and it grabbed you. And then you sat back and you looked at it and you went, oh my God, that was amazing. She's 20. She's 22. Holy cow. The future of NXT is absolutely unbelievable, right? I mean, that's, to me, I go back and I'm blown away by that. It was fantastic. But both those girls together, I'm older than both of them put together. You know what I mean? That's how bright the future is.
It's making me feel bad. Go ahead, Brad. I know you want to get it there.
Yeah, when you talk about NXT, I feel like a conversation always around it is the wealth that is in there with the women's division. It's so full of talent right now, and a lot of them have come outside of the business from NIL recruits and things of that nature. Was that why it was important for you to push for this NXT North American Women's Championship to have more opportunities for such a talented roster? Or what was the thinking behind creating that title?
Certainly. That was absolutely, we certainly saw the depth. And at one point we're also obviously always try to get as much of our talent into the show and represented as much as possible. And I think we do a great job here in NXT of having multiple storylines going on with all sorts of different talent, our men and our women. But obviously, when it just comes to, and if you think about it, quite honestly, if you're going to go, apples for apples, you've got a men's championship, you've got a women's NXT championship, you got a men's North American. It only seems right to have a women's North American championship. I mean, again, as much as I joke about the feminist icon, HBK of all things, but it seemed like a very simplistic thing for us to do. And again, especially given our depth, not only does it make sense just in, like I said, in, I guess I'll use the word fairness, but certainly from the depth standpoint, we could certainly handle it. And look, I don't see that changing anytime soon because our depth, in both of our rosters, to be perfectly honest, the women sometimes, outshine the men in this respect when you think about the sheer depth of it. But I think it's because over the years, obviously, women's wrestling in the WWE and all around the business has just grown exponentially, as it should. So now I think it's just finally getting on an even keel with the men's division. And I think it's a wonderful thing because to me, I look at that and I think of the health of the overall industry as a whole is doing fantastic.
Well, one more thing before I let you get out of here. At one point in time at NXT in the system, in the PC system, you had that one crop of guys that came out that, went on to, make big headlines, and that was Batista, Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin, and John Cena. But since then, we've created so much more talent that have gone to the main roster, like a Kiana James, like a Ilya Dragunov, Tiffany Stratton, Braun Breaker, and so many more. You gotta be really, really proud of the way you have been quarterbacking this thing, man. You got to give yourself a pat on the back for that right there, seriously.
Well, I appreciate that, book. Look, I will say this, and again, it sounds, I don't know, it sounds silly, I guess, but look, I got to give credit where credit is due. Hunter put in fantastic people down here in the Performance Center in Orlando a long time ago. I've got a fantastic team around me. He had a great system in place. Yes, have we continued to build on that? The recruiting that we're doing now is off the charts. We are recruiting to very, very high tier, upper tier athletes across the world. And that's only making the health of the WWE and the health of NXT better and better. I'm so incredibly happy, and very fortunate and blessed to be in the position that I'm in. But I have to give a lot of credit to Matt Bloom, his coaches, my creative team, and obviously just the wealth and the recruiting. Again, the wealth of talent and of the stellar athletes that are out there. I think the recruiting was just a game changer in obviously everything that is WWE now. Recruiting and reaching out to these high tier athletes has just paid off in dividends, and I think it'll continue to do that in the future. And I do know, look, I'm having a blast doing this. I love doing it. Book, I know you enjoy doing it. You're the hardest working man in show business, guys. But look, but when you see all this going on around you, right, Book, it's hard not to be encouraged and excited about it. And I don't know. So going to work for me, just like you, Book, is not a hard thing at all.
Well, you might not want to give yourself a pat on the back, but I'm going to give yourself a pat on the back, man. You're doing a hell of a job. I just want to thank you for giving me a little bit of time stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Like I said, I know it's a big week. SummerSlam, y'all. It's going down in Cleveland, Ohio. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out live on the, what was that, Peacock?
On Peacock, Book.
Yeah.
Peacock, of course.
Hey, man, again, thank you for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Talk to you.
Thank you, Book, very much. Thank you, Brad.
Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
You know, let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, you know, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. Doing some good work down in NXT, man. I'm happy, man. I'm proud to be, on the team and be able to help the young guys out, because I really feel like it's all about the young guys. It's all about the next generation. And to see these guys, grow right before our very eyes, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, I've gotten to go down there a few times to NXT to watch it live and in person, and even seeing Stand and Deliver and the brand that's down there. I feel like I know people probably have like a nostalgia for those takeover shows right when NXT first started, really gaining prominence. I'm thinking whenever that was, 2014, 2015, 2016 era. But I honestly, truly believe the last year of NXT going on into the future has been the best that the brand has produced, from a show perspective, from an entertainment perspective, from a getting people to the next level perspective, from new talent. It's hard to say that there's been a more prosperous era than right now.
Think about it though. But then again, you got to think about when, like when Adam Cole, Keith Lee, and all those guys were there. It was hot.
I agree. I agree with that.
It was smoking hot, and it's only gotten better, actually. It's only gotten better, and the talent that has been produced has been fresh, have been brand new, like totally out there in the world, like a Tiffany Stratton, moving, or Obafemi, and you go, wow, where these guys are coming from, I was talking about Obafemi. I was like, man, this guy could have worked just about in any era. He could have worked in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Now, I mean, he's perfect for what we do, So for me, the producing of talent as of late has been awesome, man. There's been a plethora of young guys that, when they get to the main roster, their name have totally got there before they have, and they're ready to go. They're ready made. They don't have to do anything but just go out there and perform at that high level. I look at Ilya Dragunov. He doesn't have to do anything but go out there and perform. His acting is definitely a next level as well. So man, the producing of the next. I didn't even get a chance to talk to Shawn. We'll get him back inside the Hall of Fame, but I want to talk to him about the TNA crossover.
I wanted to talk to him about that too.
I know we were just running short on time, but the TNA crossover, is that a tool to just be able to let guys like a Joe Hendry fulfill that dream, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. These guys getting a shot at the big time under the bright lights. And if they're good enough, they might, stick around for a long time. I think that's what it's truly all about.
Well, I'll tell you this. I believe in Shawn Michaels. I believe in Joe Hendry. And I'm excited to see what comes next. And we got to get Shawn back in, especially, him around SummerSlam. And you too. Like when I say SummerSlam to you, what's the big match that stands out in your mind? Being that we are here, SummerSlam, Cleveland, Ohio. There's a few matches that come to mind for you and for Shawn Michaels when it comes to SummerSlam. For me, the one I think of for you is obviously you and The Rock at SummerSlam main event.
That's not what I think about.
What do you think about?
I think about Batista and I having a fight because it was SummerSlam. It was at a party. It was crazy.
We didn't see that.
I know it, but that's what I think about when I think about SummerSlam. I don't think about the matches. I think about getting into a confrontation. But no,
It's crazy.
I'm serious. And I swear, when you ask me what I think about when I think about SummerSlam, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
I meant match-wise. Do you have a match that comes to mind of yours?
Not really, man. Not
No?
really. No, not really. I wasn't that type of guy, though. I really wasn't that type of guy. SummerSlam to me, it was just work. It was a job. I was just putting my hard hat on, my boots, and I was going to work. The memories, I always talk about that. The memories wasn't for me. The memories was for the fans. They'll tell me about it, just like you just said. For you, it was The Rock. And I remember that. You know what I mean? Was that the moment for me? Not really.
Well, I remember I think there's 3 matches that pop in my brain when I think Booker T and SummerSlam. I think of you versus The Rock, main event of SummerSlam in 2001. Second biggest show of the year. You were on the main event. Not a bad spot for your first year in the company.
Not bad. Not bad.
And by the way, WrestleMania had already passed by the time you got into the company for 17. So not a bad good pay-per-view match for Booker T. But the first of the best of 5 series was you and John Cena at SummerSlam in 2004.
I remember that vividly. Like I said, that was a great memory for you. But go ahead.
It was a great memory for me. And then the last one that comes to mind, I believe it was you and Triple H, right?
Yeah,
at SummerSlam in 06?
Yeah, that was the final my final match.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you had I'm wrong.
No, I wrote Batista.
You had Batista
my final match, yeah.
at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I thought you had worked Triple H at SummerSlam too.
No, I worked Triple H before that match. Can't remember, but I was King Booker. Can't remember what pay-per-view it was though.
Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna just check on Booker T's history. Oh no, yeah. So you had won the following year. It was your final match, Triple H and King Booker at SummerSlam, 2007.
Yeah, that was exactly. The one I worked with Batista was when I lost the belt. That's right.
When you lost the title.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, those are 4, I think, very memorable Booker T matches at SummerSlam. And of course, the 2 that come to my mind when I think of Shawn Michaels, I think of the unsanctioned street fight from 2002 when he made his return against Triple H, a common opponent of both the years at SummerSlam. That was when he went 30 minutes booked. And it was his first match back in 5 years.
I remember that.
And they stole the show that night.
Yeah.
And then the other one is a little bit more infamous than famous, is when he and Hulk Hogan had their match at SummerSlam 2006, I think it was. Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan, yeah. You don't remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
Have you never seen that match? Because if you haven't, you need to do yourself a favor. And pull it up.
I go back and watch it, but I don't remember that one. Now, for some reason, that one is not ringing a bell. Yeah.
You know how one of Shawn Michaels' great attributes was not only his in-ring acumen and his psychology, but also his ability to sell.
Yeah.
Better than pretty much anybody. Well, this was an all-time display in the art of selling. And
he sold the whole match or what?
Brother, I got to pull up a clip on YouTube to share with you, because it's one of the moments that wrestling fans talk about, is like Shawn Michaels really going above and beyond in that match.
Trying to get Hogan over, trying to make him look good or what?
Trying to shine him up.
Hey, man, it's part of the game, man. It's part of the business. Part of the
Trying to
business.
shine him up. But
Yeah.
I remember more so than the match. I remember the promo of Shawn Michaels was dressed as Hulk Hogan, and he was doing an episode of Larry King Live. But
I
it
think
was some actor playing Larry
I
King,
do remember that. Yeah.
and he was like, "So tell me, Hulky, are you a good guy or are you a bad guy?" He goes, "Well, on camera, brother, I'm a great guy. When the camera goes off, brother, it's another story, brother, brother, brother."
I do remember that. The brother part. That's the part I remember. Yeah. I remember that.
No, Sean's one of the all-time greats, man. One of the all-timers.
Definitely.
And so I'm excited for SummerSlam.
Nah,
But you
man.
know what? Say his name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry is apparently watching on Twitter right now on
Joe
X.
Henry. What up, baby? What up? You know I'm the president of fan club, right?
I heard that.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I heard
make
that.
sure. You know what? I'm gonna make sure I get this kid over. You know, make sure I'm gonna give him the rub, like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like Braun Breaker. You know, like Dragunov, like all Trick Williams. I'll get this kid the rub. You know, see exactly how far he goes. He's very talented. He's very talented on the guitar. You know what I mean? He's got a nice voice. Let's see exactly.
And he actually has a pretty good singing voice.
I told this kid you could be a crossover star, man. You could be a dual athlete. Here, you can be wrestling in the main event. You can go do a concert immediately after. All right, so let's see if we can go get this paper. That's what it's all about.
I will tell you, the other night I was talking to my wife Farah about Joe Hendry because I was explaining it to her, like, who he was and everything. I'm like, let me show you his video, right? And so I show her the entrance video, and she goes, "Oh, that's funny." 30, 40 minutes go by. I hear her washing her face in the bathroom, and I hear her go, "I believe in Joe Hendry." It got stuck in her head,
Oh, man.
It's over. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, like I say, sometimes it's the little bitty thing. Sometimes is that connection that you make with the fans that propel you to that next level. And Joe Hendry definitely has that. That's something that's very, very unique. It's uncanny in this business, and it's something that you don't step on a banana peel and find. Seriously, you don't. But guys, you're inside the Hall of Fame. Booker T and Brad Gilmore. Stick around. We'll be back. Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
And guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section in row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, boy.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Gee, guarantee. Oh, yes. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Where we want to go, man? What we want to talk about? What's happening in the news out there on the internet?
I mean, there's a few things, but first off, John JID 999 says reality wrestling has been awesome recently, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say that we are little over a week away from Summer Champions 10 at the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena. Tickets are available at realitywrestling.com. New construction has been going on in the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena that we're really excited to be able to have more people experience the flagship of Texas wrestling live in living color on on October. Shoot.
August.
Not
Not like me.
And then this comes from Instagram, a wrestling historian. Was a match between you and Shawn Michaels ever discussed?
No, we never got there. We never got to that point, and I'm sure it would have been something that was slated. We did some, like chamber stuff. I think we did. I think we did tag match stuff, but we never did one-on-one competition. That's why the memory for me is very, very foggy. Just because I was, anticipating, a one-on-one match with Shawn Michaels at least one time in my career, just because I watched Shawn come up from, from his early days, with the Rockers. And I always said, man, it's something about this dude, man. This guy is special. He's got a special talent. And I would love to share the ring with him, even though I don't use those terms. But I would have loved to have, went one-on-one with Shawn Michaels just to see how good I was, because I always thought I was pretty good, but I always thought Shawn Michaels was among, the greats, and I always wanted to compete with those type of guys.
Well, it's funny, and I think we had this conversation before. When you're a wrestling fan of my generation, there's a few conversations that would be had. Were you a DX guy? Were you an NWO guy? Were you a Hogan guy? Were you a Macho Man guy? And then were you a Bret guy, or were you a Shawn guy? Shawn Michaels. I was always a Shawn Michaels guy. Just from I've later appreciated Bret Hart and what Bret Hart can do. He's one of the greatest of all time as well. But something about Shawn is I think Shawn had a little bit of extra. Everything had a little bit of extra on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
whether it be the sell, the entrance, the music, the showmanship. Bret was cool with his leather jacket and shades, but you never knew what Shawn was going to come out wearing. And the entrance was also electrifying. So I was always a Shawn guy when it comes down to it. But I would have loved to see you and Shawn link up. It would have been one for the ages.
No, that was one that I wish I would have just had a chance to mix it up with him one time. But I don't lose no sleep over it or anything like that.
But we're talking about in the news. There was several things that we can get to, but we just had another super chat come in, so I want to make sure that we get to these. Hey, Booker T, I saw Rose Sunday. I think Edge Stone's actions were despicable. I mean, who does he think he is? The final boss rock or something?
Look, Edge Stone right now is a guy that I got a lot of praise for. Edge Stone. I always have. He's been a guy that's been loyal to the cause. He's been a soldier in this war. He's been a general. At times. So me personally, I'm never going to say anything negative towards Edge Stone, because if you guys don't know, the stone don't crumble. Now you know. All right.
And you're going to be able to see Edge Stone defend the Reality of Wrestling Championship.
You know what? I want to thank the listeners, man, for the love of Reality of Wrestling, man. We are right now, I think, close to 775,000.
Let's see, we're at 783,000.
783,000 subscribers. I want to thank you guys for being a part of Reality of Wrestling. We're trying to create our own enterprise here, to where we bring you guys some of the most awesome wrestling entertainment, Hall of Fame, as well as we got a whole lot more in the can that we're getting ready to produce and give you guys. Want to thank you guys for really, really putting Reality of Wrestling YouTube channel on the map. We're trying to get to 1 million, and we need you guys to do it. So guys, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the like bell and all that stuff. I think that's the first time I ever said that.
Hit the bell, brother.
Hit the like bell so you can get all, updates and whatnot. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I appreciate the love from Reality of Wrestling. And again, for our live viewership and for people listening to us on ESPN 975 and 102.5 The Game in Nashville, want to remind you that we will be having a ESPN national show talking about SummerSlam and all things going on in it. And you're going to hear from Bailey, Gunther, more from Shawn Michaels and the like. So definitely make sure you tune into that on Saturday night.
Very special guest gonna be calling in as well. It's gonna be a all around, show on Saturday night, guys. So make sure you tune in.
Tune in, don't miss out.
Don't get shut
out as well. There are a few other things to go through. Did you want to talk about where your name was thrown around this week? I wanted to ask you about it, between yourself and one we just talked about him, the Hitman, Bret Hart. Did you see all this stuff that was coming out online?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I did.
So for people who don't know, Bret Hart was doing a signing, I believe, and looked at a picture of you giving him a scissor kick, which is a pretty iconic photo. I think it was at Bash at the Beach or something like that. And he said with that, and I'm paraphrasing, Booker, I had to get that move banned because Booker tried to kill me, him and Goldberg. So I wanted to know what you thought of that.
Yeah, man, I think honestly, I think Bret was just being sarcastic. I don't think he was being. I mean, the Goldberg part, I think that was real.
Well, that's a shoot, brother.
But as far as me and Bret Hart, me and Bret Hart, we had great chemistry. We had great time. I know it was a highlight in my career working with Bret Hart, just because I admired him. My suplex is because of Bret Hart. I always wanted to do my suplex just like Bret. He had that giant suplex, high knee up. I had some that flowed over, felt a certain way. So so he was kind of like one of my guys. But as far as the scissor kick, I never have gotten any complaints about the scissor kick. But I've broken guys' noses and didn't realize it until later on in life. And like Brian Kendrick said, I did break his nose, but it wasn't something that was out of malice or anything like that. Was I a little bit stiff? I can say that. Was I a little snug? And sometimes it may have landed a little, a tight or a little snug. Yeah, I was actually looking at a match with Bret Hart, not just yesterday, and I actually focused in on the scissor kick, and I had the knee brace on. And I whacked him, bro. I whacked him so freaking hard. I'm serious. You know what I mean? So what he's saying, it could have some truth to it, but I don't remember ever hurting Bret Hart. And I have nothing but high praise for the Hitman. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you and I both love Bret Hart, and I just so I can put it in proper context, this was the exact quote. I didn't want to misquote him. He referred to the scissor kick as, man, that's a really dangerous move. When he did that to me, it drove my head right into the mat. Between him and Goldberg, they were trying to kill me. That's a really dangerous move. I had to tell him to stop. He couldn't do it anymore. He did it 2 or 3 more times, and every time he did, he drove my head right into the mat, almost through the boards. Were you hitting guys that hard, Book? You put him through the boards? What are you laughing at?
Through the boards.
Through the boards, man. What's wrong with you?
Man, it ain't ballet. It ain't ballet. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and, try to justify, be whacking Bret Hart. If I whacked him, I whacked him. All right. But it was for the business. It was for the business. It's one of those things when a guy go out there and just say, for instance, bang, he get hard weight. Blood, coming out of his mouth. He might even lose a tooth. And when you get back to the back, what a camera guy goes back then, they're gonna go zoom in tight. All right, they want to see all of it, because when you get to the back, guy gonna pat you on the back and say it's good for the business. So that's what it was about back then. It was about going out there and performing and saying I'm sorry when we get to the back. We don't apologize when we're in the ring. We get in the back. We go, hey, man, I'm sorry about that shot. Or give me a receipt. I don't mind taking a receipt. That's what, I'm all about. If I give you one, give me one back, because it's all about the competition. It's all about the veracity that we bring to this contest and making the fans feel a certain way. Brett, I love you, man. I love you, dog. I'm never going to say anything bad about Bret Hart. He's the man. He's the man. If I nailed him, I apologize. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
And guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section in row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guarantee. Oh, yes. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man, with Booker T and Brad Gilmore. Like Brad say, guys, we got a big show going down ESPN National Saturday night. SummerSlam emanating from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm looking forward to it, man. Hosted by the Miz. Miz go find his way on the card somehow. Trust me on that right there. I just want to get that out there. But we got any super chats?
We do have a couple of super chats. I did want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
One thing, and it's all rumor and speculation and innuendo, but this is somebody who, when you first came into the WWF, then you were paired with for a long time, and he's been a part of WWE sporadically since 2016. That's, of course, Shane McMahon. And there's details coming out that right here in Arlington, Texas, Shane and Tony Khan had a private meeting with one another. And there's been rumors and speculation of him joining AEW in some capacity. I don't know if you've heard those rumors, and if so, what do you think of that, of Shane McMahon possibly joining the All Elite brand?
No, man, I heard about that. And you know, nothing surprises me in this business. It really doesn't. Do I believe, could I believe that Tony Khan reached out to Shane McMahon perhaps for some expert knowledge, expertise, perhaps way to run the business? I can see that. It's all about trying to move to the next level. Do Shane McMahon need a check? I don't think so. I don't think so. But I still think, in life, man, you don't want to just hang up the boots when you don't have to. If you can still, be a part of something that you love, and somebody's going to pay you a whole lot of money to do it, you go pick the check up, no matter how much money you got in the bank. It's not smart to leave money on the table. That's just me. So I definitely, can see something like that happening. It's not something that's unbelievable.
It would be an interesting turn of developments, wouldn't it? For Shane O'Mac to be going to All Elite Wrestling. It'd be just something that you never thought would happen. But you know what? That's what this business is full of. Stuff you never thought was going to happen.
Nah, man, it's just like Macho Man said back in the day. Always expect the unexpected. Yeah, take it. That's true, man. It's true. This business is, you know, there's always going to be something that we're going to be talking about. And so for me, I'm not surprised one bit. This is something that we've been hearing about for quite some time, though. We've
There's
been
been
hearing
some
like
whispers.
whatnot, as far as Shane McMahon joined All Elite. I saw an All Elite photo. So yeah, I'm not surprised, not one bit.
Oh wow, there's actually a photograph of them meeting too. So interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what comes of that. But we do have a couple more super chats here, Book. This one comes from King Rizzy. Yo, Booker, your career has been filled with incredible matches. Can you share with us what your favorite match you've ever been in is?
Man, I've been in a lot of great matches. I appreciate that question. A lot of people say that my best match was Stone Cold and I in a grocery store, and I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't even a match, you know. But one of my most fun matches, man, from a tag team perspective, was my brother and I versus the Nasty Boys, and we had beat the hell out of Brian Knobs before the show started. Left him laying in the back, and Knobs had to. Sags had to do the match by himself. It was my brother and I versus Sags, and we beating the hell out of Sags, right? And we're in Florida, in their hometown. And next thing you know, we're getting close to the finish, getting ready to wrap it up. Here comes Knobs. He's coming running out of the back, and he's freaking limping and hopping at the same time. And we had beat his ribs up real bad, so he was all taped up. And what was funny was he didn't just tape his ribs up; he taped the whole shirt up and his ribs, because he didn't want to take his shirt off. And I swear I was laughing so hard when he was coming to the ring. Sags made the tags, Knobs came in, bumping my brother and I all over the place, and laughing the whole time because he looked ridiculous because he's got his ribs and his shirt taped up. They get the big win, 1, 2, 3. We drop the titles. A roll out, me and my brother, we still laughing the whole time. That's what wrestling was for us. Having some fun, as well as Rey Mysterio and I at the Bash at the Beach, man. King Booker versus Rey Mysterio. That was a hell of a match. If you haven't watched that match, go back and watch it. It was flawless. It was some of the best timing you're ever going to see between two guys performing in the middle of that ring. It was poetry in motion. And I don't think I could have had a better dance partner than Rey Mysterio.
Oh man, yeah. What everyone remembers that great match at the Great American Bash. Oh yeah. Macho Man, still the best of all time. Let's see. This one comes from John JID 999. Booker, will you go back to Japan for a WWE pay-per-view?
Hell yeah, man. I love Japan, man. I've always had great time going to Japan, and it's different than you're ever going to imagine, man. I was just talking to Byron Saxton just yesterday because he just got back from Japan. He was over there doing some work. And I say, man, you didn't see any homeless people, did you? He goes, no, man, I didn't see any homeless people. I say, man, how cool was it to see people, do their washing and hang it up, outside on the line, but everybody got to do it the exact same way in unison. He's like, yeah, man, I saw that, man. It was so freaking cool. I said, you didn't see the trash on the street. He's like, man, nah, man, it was so Japan is an experience, man, that I think every American should have that experience at least one time, going to Japan and seeing how freedom really looks. I'm serious.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the places that's on my list as an eventual spot I want to go to.
Gotta go. It's one of the most awesome places, one of the most awesome countries you're ever gonna experience in a lifetime. You really got to go and see it up close and personal. I went in '91 and they had cell phones.
Yeah,
we didn't have any of that.
Yeah,
we didn't have any of that.
When was the last time you were in Japan?
I guess about 8-10 years ago.
8-10 years ago.
one-day shot, and it was a party that they was giving. I just had to go there for a party, and it was really, really cool. Yeah.
Wait. You went to Japan for 1 day?
I was there for like 3 days, but the party was just 1 day.
And you went by yourself?
Yeah.
And what do you do in Japan? Like, what's your thing? Like, what are you doing in those 3 days other than going to the party?
I mean, you got Roppongi.
That's like the party area?
It's a party area. It's like, where the guy jeans hang out at, where the Americans, go and, feel like they're at home. They could be amongst their kind, as well as, I might go to the Sizzler and get me something to eat, or Denny's. They got American. They got
of Japanese cuisine.
Yeah, no, they're more Americanized now, man. I mean, it's not like it was when I first went back in the 90s. Now it's pretty much almost like it is here, especially from a wrestling perspective, because the crowd back then, light clap. Now, they cheering for you, chanting for you, and everything, whatnot. So no, it's totally different now.
Well, yeah, maybe one day I'll be able to get out to Japan. But BT, those are our super chats for the day. What match on SummerSlam are you looking the most forward to? Is it Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes? Is it Gunther taking on Damian Priest? So you're shaking your head. It's that one?
Yeah, no, that's it, man. That's the one I want to see. That's the one I got a little, stake in more than anything. I want to see Damian Priest go out there and, pull it off. I want to see Damian Priest go out there and do something that, perhaps I didn't get a chance to do. So, which is, put that foot in that boy's mouth, shut him up. Prove to the world that, people like Damian Priest, people like myself do belong. So that's the story I'm looking for in that matchup. That's the big match on SummerSlam that I'm really intrigued about, as well as I'm not just saying this. Damian Priest has been doing a hell of a job as the world heavyweight champion. A lot of people didn't give Damian Priest, the credit, what word should I use? I don't think they believed,
yeah,
in Damian Priest more than anything, and I think Damian Priest has proven the world wrong. He is a hell of a champion. But man, we got to get out of here, man. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Remember, guys, Saturday, don't miss out, don't get shut out. ESPN National, man. But Brad, for all the heavy lifting, that's my watch, man. That's my watch. For all the heavy lifting, man, we appreciate you. But right now, like I always say, peace. We love you. We out.